right. Welcome to the You Unfolded live and fun today. And I do apologize for the delay. We were having some technical difficulties. We're actually trying out a new thing. So hopefully my peeps over in Facebook get a better quality video and sound. So today what we are going to be talking about is gratitude. Yes, once again, we're going to continue with the attitude of gratitude. We're going to go over 30 questions on gratitude, which is kind of like a 21 questions, but focused on having a grateful heart to continue to spread the spirit of gratitude for the rest of the year and on. So you can actually get the free printable daily journal and prompts in my description. It's going to be for my Instagram peeps, it's in my bio. The link is in my bio. And for my Facebook peeps, it's actually on the description of this live video. So those are the prompts that we're going to be going through together today, just to get to know each other a little bit better, get to know a little bit more about me, and we just get to really spend more time on being grateful for each day. So before we get started, actually, what is something that you were really grateful to have experienced during this Thanksgiving season? So I know we're heading into more holidays during this month, but many of us celebrated Thanksgiving. So what is something that you are grateful to have experienced during Thanksgiving this year? So I can say that something that I'm grateful for is to have been able to spend it with my in-laws and with my mom and my brother. And we actually had we had Nomi, and we had my other doggie, Princess Leia, spend it with us as well. So they were hanging out with everybody during dinner time. So again, let me introduce myself. For those of you that don't know, I am Yentl Lega. I am a holistic dietitian and certified mental health professional. And I focus on women being able to unfold their health, their balance, and their beauty-filled life without restriction or any reservations or so-called standards. So here on You Unfolded, we just talk about different topics to just maximize our well-being. So let's go ahead and get started on these 30 questions of gratitude. So first question is, what memory are you grateful for? So I know that the memory that I shared during the Instagram stories was the memory of being able to have a nice, long 17 years with our older doggie, Zoe, that passed away a few weeks ago. It was a very hard time and hard decision for us to make, but we were so grateful to have her for the 17 years. She was a gift to me for Christmas 17 years ago, and being able to cherish those wonderful moments and years that we had with her reminded us that we were grateful to have her for that long. And for her to grace us with her sweetness and her presence during that time. What memory are you grateful for? Do share it in the comments below. And also, the next question is, what childhood toy are you most grateful for? So it's funny, I used to play a lot with Barbies with my cousins, and I gotta say, even though I wouldn't really play so much with Barbies on my own, I was more of a stuffed animal kind of gal. I liked my stuffed animals. I used to pretend that I was a teacher and I was teaching to my stuffed animals. But I gotta say, what I am grateful for is having those times with my cousins of us playing together, and our imaginations went wild. It was like a soap opera with the Barbies. So that was a lot of fun. Next is, what job are you most grateful for? So I gotta say, it was the first job that I've ever had, because it really helped to set the tone for all the jobs after that. You know, it helped me gain the experience that I needed to move up into different positions. So what I did was, my first job was actually as a receptionist at a real estate office, and on the weekends. So it allowed me to go to school, go to college, because this was after I graduated high school. It allowed me to go to college during the week, and I worked weekends. And fun fact is that I actually have a real estate license. As a result of that job, I got my real estate license at 18 years old, but I never used it. So I still have it. I have it active, but I can say I'm a real estate agent, but I have no experience. But it definitely is a great asset to have. So if at any point in time I do want to completely change gears, I can. Next question is, what gadget are you grateful for? So tell me, what gadget are you grateful for? This one is a very fun one for me. The one that we are most grateful for, I say we, it's my husband and I, is the Instant Pot. That thing is amazing. That thing, you can do, it's called an Instant Pot because you can create meals in an instant, literally. Like, you can have rice in like less than 15 minutes. You can have a meal in like 30 minutes or less, or tops an hour. And it's like, if it was slow cooked, it's delicious. But you could also slow cook in it. So if you're a crock pot person, I know I'm huge on crock pots too, you can slow cook in it as well. And there are so many other things you can do with it. I see that you can also make desserts in it, which we haven't ventured to that route yet, but I'm definitely grateful for having a gadget that makes the kitchen quicker for us, but still delicious. So tell me, what gadget are you grateful for? I would like to know, so maybe we stock up on that gadget too. What season are you grateful for? This is the next question. So it's kind of funny because here in Florida, we really just have one season. It's just hot and hotter, pretty much. We don't really have a winter or a fall. It's funny to see, to hear some people talking about fall or winter here in Florida, because we really don't have that. We don't see the changes in seasons. But growing up in the Sunshine State, I do gotta say my favorite season is summer. It's what we have here all year round, and I do appreciate the fact that we have sunny weather all year round. We do get rainstorms, but when I hear so many people just waiting for the sunshine to come after the winter, and we have it all year round here, I gotta say I'm very grateful for that. And next question is, what tradition are you grateful for? So a tradition that I am very grateful for that my mom started, and I see my mom is on here. So a tradition that I'm very grateful for that she started was celebrating birthdays together. So our birthdays, all of us, all of three of my mom's kiddos, we're all summer babies. All of our birthdays are in the summer, so we never were in school for the summer. My mom, what she would do is she would take our birthdays off so that we can spend it together. And as we have gotten older and we either worked or had to go to college or whatnot, we would still make sure to take those days off ourselves, including my mom's birthday off, so that we can spend it together. And we just do random things those days. We pick whatever we feel like doing that day. We'll either go out to have breakfast somewhere new, go out to have dinner in a place that we like. We've even gone short road trips, like, when I lived in Miami, we would take trips to Naples, which was about a 2-hour drive. So we really, and I'm really grateful for those times and those moments of being able to spend it together. Next question is, what color are you grateful for? So I've heard some very interesting colors from some of you. So do share what color are you grateful for and why. Not just what your favorite color is, but what color you are grateful for. So, and why, what thoughts and what memories does it bring out to you? So for me, It's the color blue. Now, currently, the color blue really just reminds me of peace. It reminds me of the sky and the ocean, two things that I just feel so peaceful when I look out to them or when I just stare at them. But the other memory that it brings is that when I was younger, being a girl and having a brother, you know, naturally they would want to give me the pink stuff and give him the blue stuff. And I did not like that. I rebelled against that because I said, hi, how? Why do I have to have pink simply because I'm a girl? Maybe I like another color. So I would purposely say, no, I want the blue one. Give me the blue one, not the pink one. And my poor brother, he was so humble and so easygoing that he just, you know, he kind of acquiesced to having the red instead of pink. He's like, okay, give me red. I'll take red and she can have the blue. So that's what the color I'm grateful for is blue, because it brings those memories to mind. Next is, what place are you most grateful for? So I'd love to know what place are you grateful for, but I do have to say for me is here, where I am now, my home. This is a home that my husband and I purchased about a year ago now, and there's just no place like it. We even though we both work from home, anytime we go out or are, you know, traveling or out of the house for any reason, we just can't wait to come back home. So I do gotta say this is my favorite place and the place I'm most grateful for. What song are you most grateful for? So I'd love to know what songs you're grateful for. The song that I am grateful for is a song that my mom dedicated to us as her children, which is Forever Young by Rod Stewart. And every time, I mean, it's not a song you hear very often anymore on the radio or anything like that, because it is an 80s song. But anytime I do happen to hear it, it just brings those warm feelings with my mom, and, you know, just reminding me of how wonderful she is, how much she truly loves us. And it's a special song to my heart. So tell me, what song are you grateful for? If I don't know it, I'd love to look it up and listen to it. So look up Rod Stewart and the song Forever Young. Even if you don't like Rod Stewart, I know some people are like, pay attention to the lyrics. They're very beautiful. He actually dedicated that song to his son. So next question is, what happened today that you are grateful for? So today, something that I'm grateful for is the weather getting colder. So again, I'm in Florida, so we did get a few days back, or I want to say last week, it did drop to the 40s, and then it started getting back up to the 80s, and we were not liking it. We're like, no, bring the cold back. And this morning, to have woken up to 48 degrees was wonderful for my husband and I and the girls here. So the next question is, what stress relief routine are you grateful for? So the stress relief routine that I am most grateful for, that we do just about every single day, is I'm going to mention that in a moment, is laying on the couch. I'm pointing because my couch is over here. I'm in my living room. After a long day of work and watching TV with my hubby and having these girls, like, that's the best stress relief, and that's something we both look forward to after a long day and after we've been out, or just we feel like the day hasn't, met its end until we have done that, until we have laid down on the couch or in our bed with the girls watching TV. And my cousin from Venezuela, Argenis, he's like, y para tu público en español. I know, I gotta try to translate and speak in Spanish. So maybe I would start doing that a little bit more. If more of you en español prefieren en español, let me know. And I will be more than happy to do that. So next question is, what family member are you grateful for? This one, I mean, is a tough one because I'm grateful for all my family members that continue to be a part of my life. I gotta say, if I have to pick one, my husband. He's my family, my best friend, and I mean, I could spend like hours and hours with him and never ever get bored. We actually look forward to spending time together. Like I said, we look forward to watching TV at the end of the day, or just relaxing together. So like I said, if I had to pick one, it would definitely be my hubby. What workout are you grateful for? So let me know what workouts you are grateful for. I know a lot of the times workouts are one of those things that we're like, ugh, I don't like this one very much, but I do it anyway. What workout are you grateful for? The one that you do enjoy, the one that you look forward to doing. For me, it is dancing. I love dancing. Unless I'm exhausted and not feeling well, I mean, I can dance at any time. That's my favorite way to exercise. Whenever I'm not in the mood to exercise, that's what I do. I dance. So it is my favorite form of movement. What sport and or team are you grateful for? So this one is funny for me because I don't follow sports at all. It's even to the point where, I mean, you can name a team and I have no idea what state they represent. Like, I don't know. And what's actually kind of great is my husband's the same. So anytime it's like football season or any type of season, we have no clue. We're just oblivious to all things sports. But we do enjoy playing them. So when it comes to that, to a sport that I'm grateful that exists, it would be basketball. Simply because it reminds me of my dad. It reminds me of when he used to watch it on TV and get mad and yell at the TV. It was just fun memories. And then also, basketball is the sport that my youngest brother has gotten into and has connected him with friends and has really helped him to come out of his shell. And then I like it because I do like playing it, even though I'm great at shooting in the basket. I'm great at making that shot. That, I'm pretty good at, I gotta say. But dribbling, I can't dribble to save my life. But I do enjoy basketball. So I would say that one is the sport that I am grateful for. And next question is, what hobby are you grateful for? I'd like to know what hobbies you guys do, so do feel free to share those. The hobby that I am most grateful for is arts and crafts. Because it's kind of like a stress relief for me too. And I love being able to see the finished product at the end and just have it somewhere in our house. So a couple of things that my husband and I have done, or that I have done, is we painted a little canvas together. So it was a lot of fun painting that together, and we did have it up in our old place. We haven't put it up here yet, but it was really fun doing that together and seeing it up on the wall and having people comment on it, on how nice it looked, and it was something we painted together. And then something that I did that I have in my office, which some of you probably have seen in the background of my lives, is macrame. I just got into it, but it's a lot like braiding hair, and I love doing hairstyles. So it was very therapeutic for me, and then to look back and see how pretty it looks and how nice it looks on the wall and how it puts the room together. I'm really grateful for having arts and crafts as a hobby. So let me know what are you grateful for? What hobby do you enjoy and that you are happy exists? Next is, what teacher are you most grateful for? So the teacher that I am most grateful for is my 5th grade teacher. Her name was Dr. Cole. So I have tried to find her, to reach out to her and let her know how much of an influence she's been in my life, but have not been able to find her. But her name was Dr. Cole. She taught at Riverside Elementary in Miami, Florida. So I'm putting it out there in case any of you guys know how to reach her or figure out how to reach her. But she was a woman that inspired me greatly. She challenged me as well. I mean, she was tough with, her reading and with teaching literature. She was really tough, but it's something that really challenged me and helped me to be a better writer and to help me express myself better as well. I was raised for speaking Spanish, so when I started school, I didn't speak English. I had ESOL for a couple of years. So when, in 5th grade, I was still fine-tuning my writing, and I really enjoyed reading. So she was someone who would challenge me. If there was a word that I didn't know, or that we didn't know as a class, she had that as our vocabulary word. She had you find out the etiology, like where the word originated from, and create a sentence with the word to know if it's like a verb, a noun, or an adverb. I mean, she was tough and challenged us, but in a great way. And she's someone who believed in me and has really shaped, I believe, who I am now, because she was very into nutrition, and now I'm a dietitian. So she really has been a big influence. What day of the week are you most grateful for? So for me, it has always been Friday, because it's just the end of the work week. It used to be the end of the school week, and we were starting our weekend. So it's still Friday. I still get excited over Friday. Every time Friday comes, both my husband and I are like, it's a Friday. Like, we get so excited. So Friday is still my favorite day of the week, and it's the day of the week that I'm most grateful for, to end the work week and start the fun. Next is, what skill or characteristic are you most grateful for? So I am grateful for just being able to I don't know what the word would be, but I like helping other people feel valued. It's something that myself had struggled with before, especially when I was younger. So I really enjoy helping other people, especially other women or young women, know their value and see their value, and know how beautiful they truly are inside and out. That is a skill, I would say, a skill that I have, or a characteristic that I have, that I'm most grateful for. To have the heart to reach out to others that don't believe in themselves and help them to believe that they are more. And next question is, what recipe are you grateful for? So, so many of them, but the first one that comes to my mind is the pumpkin soup that I made a couple years back in the crock pot. It was kind of an impromptu thing. We were doing a girls' night at my house, and it was a pumpkin-themed event. So, someone else was bringing pumpkin bread, and it was just all pumpkin themed. So I was in charge of doing the main dish, pumpkin. And I wanted to do pumpkin soup, but I wanted it savory. All of the soups that I looked up on all the recipes, they all were like slightly sweet, and I didn't want that. So I just kind of threw things together, hoping it would taste good. And it came out amazing to the point that the soup was requested to be in a Thanksgiving dinner, which is kind of weird. We usually don't have soup for Thanksgiving dinner. And it was requested to be one of the dishes for Thanksgiving dinner, and our family members loved it. The thing was practically gone. And I've made it many times after that. So that's definitely a recipe that I'm most grateful for. What book or movie are you grateful for? So I can't pick between the two. So my book that I'm most grateful for is Tuesdays with Morrie. And the movie I'm most grateful for is Life is Beautiful. And both of these, both the movie and the book, have this theme of, really finding hope in the midst of hopelessness. It's no matter what happens, no matter what you're going through and what you're experiencing, you could be going through some really dark times, that there's always something to look forward to. There's always hope. So that's why I'm grateful for those two books, the book and the movie, that have really touched me and helped me to see that there's always something positive that we can take out of any experience. Next is, what volunteer opportunity are you grateful for? So the volunteer opportunity that I am grateful for is being able to be the co-founder and the senior chapter officer of the Orlando Bloggers. When we moved here, we had our first meeting just 2 weeks after we moved here. And we started from scratch. Didn't have any members at all to begin with. I mean, our first meetup went well. We did have people that showed up. I'm not saying nobody showed up, but what I'm saying is that me and my co-founder, we were able to take something from scratch and build it to, now we almost have 300 members. And this was already a year ago in October. So I was very grateful to have that experience and to meet other creatives and other bloggers in my community here, especially being new to Orlando. So it really helped to shape me more, helped me see skills and things about myself that I didn't realize that I had the potential for. And it also helped me to meet others and just love my community even more. So next is, what article of clothing are you grateful for? I would have to say, like, comfy pants. It's just, you can't go wrong with comfy pants. And then I would say comfy dresses, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't always shave. I'm not always clean shaven, so comfy pants definitely are for me. You let me know what article of clothing you're most grateful for. I'd love to know. Next is, what life milestone are you grateful for? So the life milestone I'm grateful for, I mentioned it earlier, is being here, buying our new home. It's our first home, and it's our dream home. It truly is. It's our dream home, not just because of how it's laid out. It's our dream home because of how it feels to us. We really, like I said earlier, there's no place like it. We always look forward to coming back here and being here, and even with us working from home, we hardly ever want to leave. So it's definitely grateful for having bought and created this beautiful home. And what in nature are you grateful for? So I am grateful for the sky. I just love the sky. I love how there's so many different shades of it, so many different patterns. It's just so much to see in the sky. Sometimes you see all the stars, sometimes you see new planets popping up. Well, not new planets, but you see the planets popping up, being more visible. You really just get so much out of the sky. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm really grateful for the sky. And just a few more questions left. And just a reminder that the prompts, all of these prompts are in the link in my bio, and they're also in the description in the Facebook Live. So if you want to do these 30 prompts for 30 days of gratitude in your own pace, then definitely get that. It's free. So a few more questions left. Which of the 5 senses are you most grateful for? And I would have to say, because I mentioned right before this that the sky is what I'm most grateful for, is vision. It's just to be able to see all the beauty around me. So which of the 5 senses are you most grateful for? I know someone else before mentioned taste, that they're most grateful for taste. Because of all the delicious food, and I do gotta agree, that's I'm very grateful to have my taste buds. So which of the 5 senses are you most grateful for? Next is, what knowledge are you grateful for? So I am definitely very grateful to have the knowledge that I gained through my undergrad and grad school, which is nutrition and therapy and mental health. Definitely very grateful to have that knowledge. It's been very helpful for me to be able to help other people in ways that I never thought possible. You know, being able to know about nutrition is so powerful for someone's health, but also knowing about mental health and knowing that nutrition isn't the end all be all to our health is something that I'm grateful for knowing and experiencing and sharing. What food are you most grateful for? Pasta. I guess it's pasta. I could have pasta any time of the day. I mean, maybe not for breakfast. I like my eggs and bacon and toast for breakfast, but yeah, pasta. I love pasta. I would say I'm most grateful for that food. What holiday are you grateful for? For me, it's Christmas. I mean, it's just always have warm feelings with Christmas. I love the whole atmosphere in the air with amongst people, and everywhere you go, seeing places decorated for Christmas, and just the whole warmth of it all, because it even with the foods, what people are most into are like the hot cocos and any those warm beverages. It's just such a wonderful feeling. And of course, family. It's a time where our family just comes together and spends time with one another. So Christmas is definitely a holiday I'm most grateful for. What quote are you most grateful for? So there are so many of them, and I wish I could remember off the top of my head, because it's a long one, which one I put in Instagram. But I gotta say that the quote that I am most grateful for is from a mentor that I had when I was doing my internship for counseling. And something that she told me, which I will never forget, is you can't care more than they do. And that has stuck with me because it's not only true for when I'm working as a counselor or therapist with people, but it also works in your relationships. You know, sometimes we get really hurt over what other people say and do, how others may treat us or react to us, and if we keep in our minds that we can't care more than they do, you know, if they are hurting themselves, doing, you know, or making these crazy decisions. I mean, hurting themselves, that's a little different. I think that was a bad example. But if they are making decisions that we see could be destructive for them, that is not really leading them anywhere, and we want to help and we want to see them do better, or even with someone's health that we see that they're really just not caring, and we see them getting worse and worse and worse when there's an obvious solution. keeping in mind that we can't care more than they do, it really helps to relieve a lot of stress from us. It helps to remind us that we can't control other people. We don't want people to control us. We're our own person, so we can't control other people either. And it helps us to love them and care for them in a way that doesn't hurt us, because we think that we're loving them by trying to give them this advice and get them to see what we think is an obvious solution to their issues, but we're really not loving them. When we truly start to love somebody, care for somebody, we let them be, and we are simply here when they're ready to hear. When they're ready to hear. We're here when they're ready to hear, when they're ready to listen. That's how we can show somebody that we truly love them, that we're not trying to control their lives. We're letting them be them, and we're keeping an open heart and open arms to them when they're ready. So I would say that that's the quote I'm most grateful for. You can't care more than they do. And lastly, the last question of the night is, what have you been reminded to be grateful for? So again, what have you been reminded to be grateful for? So we just went over a ton of questions. It feels like a ton. It's 30 questions. And some of them sound pretty like just whatever questions. It's like, oh, what gadget am I grateful for? What color am I grateful for? But here's the truth. I mean, in a previous Live and Learn, we talked about the 3 powerful benefits of gratitude. And I'm not going to go over that now. You can definitely go back and watch that one to see what the 3 powerful benefits of gratitude are. But did you know that studies have found that the most vulnerable time of the day, the most vulnerable times of the day, are the first 30 minutes and the last 30 minutes of your day? This time, the last 30 minutes and the first 30 minutes of the day, set the tone for your quality of sleep and for the rest of the day. And if we spend time in a gratitude practice, even just going through one of these questions and journaling one of these questions 30 minutes before we go to bed and 30 minutes upon waking up, it'll really help to improve not just our mental health, but our physical health. And it can help also with being able to know, what are the healthy relationships you have around you, appreciate them more, and spend more time nurturing those relationships. So what have you been reminded to be grateful for? I'd like to know in the comments below. I know for me, I have been reminded how powerful being grateful truly is, and just the feeling of hope that this one simple little practice gives you is powerful. I mean, there's so many things that happen in life, so many things that are hard to go through, difficult to go through, and having hope to get through it really helps you to heal. It really helps you to be strong through it and have the peace that you're looking for to get through it. So again, the 30 prompts, the daily prompts and the journal, it's a free printable that is available on the link in my bio, and it's also, again, on Facebook, in the Facebook description. And do make sure that you share this video, give it a like and share it with others so that they can be reminded of how simple it is to have a gratitude practice, and to inspire them to continue that attitude of gratitude, that it's not just for Thanksgiving, but it's a daily thing. Next week, I'll be on here Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern to go do another live cooking demo. So hopefully this time will go a little smoother. But if not, it's still a very easy recipe. It's going to be easy flourless chocolate chip cookies, which are absolutely delicious and naturally gluten-free and dairy-free. So I'll see you guys next week. Thank you for tuning in and have a wonderful rest of your evening. All right, bye everyone. Oh, sorry. Don't forget, silence the standards because you are more. All right, bye.